Picture this. Two friends, Rahul and Amit, both started investing the same amount, 50,000 rupees, exactly 10 years ago in 2014. Rahul, being cautious, put everything in large cap funds. Amit, slightly more adventurous, split his money between mid-cap and small-cap funds. Fast forward to today, and here's where it gets interesting. Rahul's 50,000 has grown to approximately 1,70,000 rupees. Not bad, right? But Amit? His portfolio is sitting at nearly 3,20,000 rupees. Almost double. Now before you rush to put all your money in small caps, wait. Because in 2018, when the market crashed, Amit watched his portfolio drop by 42% in just 8 months. He couldn't sleep for weeks. Rahul? He barely lost 15% and recovered within months. This, my friends, is the great market cap dilemma that every Indian investor faces. Should you chase higher returns and risk sleepless nights? Or should you play it safe and potentially miss out on life-changing wealth? Today, we are going to settle this debate once and for all. We'll look at actual SEBI definitions, real historical data from the last decade, and most importantly, I'll give you a practical framework to decide exactly where your money should go based on your age, your goals, and your risk appetite. Before we dive deeper, let's understand exactly what we are talking about. Because surprisingly, most investors don't actually know how SEBI officially defines these categories. In 2017, SEBI released a circular that changed everything. They created clear, mathematical definitions that every mutual fund in India must follow. Here's how it works. Take all the companies listed on Indian stock exchanges and rank them by their total market capitalization. That's simply the share price multiplied by the total number of shares. Now, the top 100 companies by this ranking? Those are your large caps. Think Reliance, TCS, HDFC Bank, Infosys. These are the giants, the blue chips, the household names. Companies ranked from 101 to 250? Those are mid-caps. Names like Voltas, Trent, Indian Hotels, Persistent Systems. Still substantial companies, but with more room to grow. And everything below rank to 51? That's the vast universe of small caps. Over 4,000 companies ranging from promising emerging businesses to highly speculative ventures. Now here's the critical insight most people miss. This ranking is updated every 6 months by AMFI. So a stock that's a mid-cap today might become a large cap tomorrow if its market value grows significantly. This dynamic nature is exactly why your portfolio allocation strategy needs to be reviewed periodically. You might think you're invested in mid-caps, but market movements might have shifted your holdings significantly. Let's start with large caps, the foundation of any sensible portfolio. These are companies with market capitalizations typically above 40,000 crores. The Nifty 50 index tracks the 50 largest, and it's often used as the benchmark for large cap performance. Why do people invest in large caps? 3 words: stability, liquidity, and predictability. These companies have proven business models, established market positions, and usually pay regular dividends. When markets crash, large caps typically fall less and recover faster. In the 2020 COVID crash, the Nifty 50 fell about 38% from its peak. Sounds scary, right? But the Nifty Small Cap Index? It crashed nearly 50%. That 12% difference might not sound like much, but on a portfolio of 10 lakhs, that's 1,20,000 rupees of additional pain. Large caps also offer better liquidity. You can buy or sell large quantities without significantly impacting the price. Try doing that with a small cap stock, and you might move the price against yourself. However, here's the trade-off. Over the last 10 years, the Nifty 50 has delivered approximately 12 to 13% CAGR. Solid returns, absolutely. But compared to what mid-caps and small caps have delivered in the same period, you're leaving potential returns on the table. For conservative investors, retirees, or anyone who needs stability and can't stomach wild swings, large caps should form the core of your portfolio. But if you're young with decades ahead, you might be playing it too safe. Now let's talk about the category that many experts call the sweet spot of Indian equity investing, mid-caps. These are companies ranked between 101 and 250 by market cap. The Nifty Mid-Cap 150 Index is your benchmark here. Mid-caps offer something magical, the potential for higher growth than large caps, but with more stability than small caps. Think about it. These are companies that have already survived the initial startup phase. They have proven products, established customer bases, and competent management teams. But they're still small enough to grow significantly. Many of today's large-cap stars were yesterday's mid-caps. Avenue Supermarts, the company behind DMart, was a mid-cap just 5 years ago. Investors who identified it early have seen returns of over 400%. Historically, the Nifty Mid-Cap 150 has delivered around 15 to 16% CAGR over the last decade. That's 2 to 3% higher than large caps annually. Doesn't sound like much? Let me show you the magic of compounding. On a monthly SIP of 10,000 rupees over 20 years, that 2% difference translates to nearly 30 lakh rupees of additional wealth. The risk? Mid-caps are more volatile. In bad years, they can underperform large caps significantly. During the 2018 correction, mid-caps fell nearly 20% more than large caps. But for investors with a 7 to 10-year horizon who can stay disciplined during corrections, mid-caps offer perhaps the best risk-adjusted returns in the Indian market. They're my personal favorite category, and I'll explain exactly how much to allocate shortly. Now for the category that makes headlines, small caps. Companies ranked below 251, typically with market caps under 10,000 crores. The Nifty Small Cap 250 Index is your reference point. The returns here can be absolutely staggering. In 2021, the Small Cap Index delivered over 60% returns in a single year. Some individual small cap stocks delivered 200, 300, even 500% returns. Stories like these create dreams of quick wealth. But here's the reality check nobody wants to hear. For every small cap multibagger, there are dozens of stocks that have destroyed wealth permanently. Many small cap companies have poor corporate governance, limited analyst coverage, and can be easily manipulated. When things go wrong, they go wrong fast and hard. In 2018, the small cap index crashed over 45%. Many individual stocks fell 70, 80, even 90% and never recovered. Investors who put their life savings chasing quick returns learned brutal lessons. The liquidity problem is severe too. You might own shares of a small company, but when you want to sell, there might be no buyers. Or the bid-ask spread could be so wide that you lose 5 to 10% just in transaction costs. That said, a small allocation to quality small caps through well-managed mutual funds can boost your overall portfolio returns significantly. The key word is quality. Focus on funds with experienced managers, consistent track records, and disciplined stock selection processes. Never, and I mean never, put money in small caps that you might need within the next 5 to 7 years. Alright, Now the part you've been waiting for: how should you actually allocate your money? I'm going to give you a practical framework based on age, because your allocation should evolve as you move through life. If you're in your 20s, you have the most valuable asset in investing: time. A market crash at 25 is actually a gift because you get to buy quality stocks at discounted prices. Your allocation could be aggressive: 30% large cap, 40% mid cap, and 30% small cap. Yes, this will be volatile, but you have decades to recover from any temporary losses. In your 30s, you likely have more responsibilities, maybe EMIs, children's education planning, building an emergency fund. Time to dial back the aggression slightly. Consider 40% large cap, 35% mid cap, and 25% small cap. Still growth-oriented, but with a stronger foundation. By your 40s, retirement is no longer a distant concept. Wealth preservation becomes as important as wealth creation. Shift to 50% large cap, 30% mid cap, and 20% small cap. You want stability while still beating inflation comfortably. In your 50s and beyond, capital protection is paramount. Consider 60 to 70% in large caps, 20 to 25% in mid caps, and only 5 to 15% in small caps if at all. Remember, these are starting frameworks, not rigid rules. Your personal risk appetite, existing wealth, income stability, and financial goals should influence your actual allocation. A 25-year-old with unstable freelance income might need to be more conservative than a 40-year-old government employee with guaranteed pension. So where should you invest in 2024? Let me give you my honest assessment based on current market conditions and valuations. As of now, large caps are trading at reasonable valuations, not cheap, but not expensive either. They offer a margin of safety if global economic conditions deteriorate. Mid-caps have had a strong run and are trading at premium valuations compared to historical averages. Does that mean avoid them? No, but be prepared for potential short-term volatility. Continue your SIPs, but maybe don't put large lump sums right now. Small caps are where caution is most needed. The index has rallied significantly and many stocks are trading at stretched valuations. This doesn't mean crash is imminent, but the risk-reward isn't as favorable as it was in 2020 or 2023. Here are your action steps. First, determine your allocation based on the age framework I shared. Second, select one or two quality mutual funds for each category rather than picking individual stocks if you're a beginner. Third, start or continue systematic investment plans. Don't try to time the market. Fourth, review your allocation once every year and rebalance if any category has drifted more than 5% from your target. Finally, remember that the best investment strategy is the one you can stick with through market cycles. If small cap volatility will make you panic sell at the bottom, you're better off with a conservative allocation that lets you sleep peacefully. Wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. Subscribe to Mahayukti Finance for more actionable investment strategies, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll discuss the best mutual funds in each category for 2024. Until then, invest wisely.